it's a little bit different out here when you get Caitlin Clark treatment. It ain't so easy peasy getting to play one-on-one, getting to just do your thing how you want to do it, when you want to do it.
Okay, this is wild. The mask is off. The charade is finished. And the so-called prophecy has officially collapsed. The WNBA's desperate attempt to manufacture a next Caitlin Clark just blew up in front of a national audience. Paige Bueckers, the media's hand-picked darling, the supposed heir to Clark's throne, the player hyped as the savior of women's basketball, just got hit with a brutal reality check delivered by the Seattle Storm. And let's be clear, this wasn't just a stumble. This was an exposure session, a reminder that hype melts quickly when it collides with the cold truth of WNBA-level defense. So let's break it down. Was Paige Bueckers ever really what the media claimed she was? Or did Seattle just rip the curtain off a carefully constructed illusion?
This was the first time we saw Paige really get guarded. This is where we saw what is going to happen in year 2. This is the scout report that needs to be out there on Paige Bueckers once the Dallas Wings get good, because the Dallas Wings are going to get good at some stage in her career. This was the game where I'm like, okay, we can shut up.
For months, fans have been spoon-fed a narrative that felt like it came straight from a PR playbook. Paige Bueckers was painted as the chosen one, the inevitable torchbearer who would follow in Caitlin Clark's footsteps and maybe even surpass her. The hype machine couldn't get enough. ESPN flooded the airwaves with glowing features, endless graphics, and carefully cherry-picked stats to position Paige as the polished alternative to Clark. She wasn't just good, she was sold as the total package. Smooth, efficient, fundamentally sound.
Elevation of one Paige Bueckers. Oh, she's better than Caitlin Clark. I mean, stab me in the eye with a spoon, for Christ's sakes. Wow. So that's a thing right now. Last night, Paige Bueckers dropped 44 points. And we're going to look at a video that just dissects and exposes a lot of that shit. Let me tell you. It exposes a lot of stuff involving Paige Bueckers getting special treatment on the court.
Even her old coach Gino Orima added fuel when he publicly questioned Caitlin Clark's style and suggested Paige was more complete. That set the tone for how many treated Clark, undervalued and doubted.
And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. You know, Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement.
While Paige was showered with premature coronations. One of the favorite talking points. Paige becoming the fastest player to reach 200 points and 50 assists, edging Clark's pace by 1 game. That single stat had analysts foaming at the mouth. They hailed her as more ready, more poised, more polished than Clark. The hype train was chugging full speed, and ESPN was happily selling first-class tickets, but hype only works until reality shows up. And in Seattle, reality showed up in storm green.
Dump Davis Cat Engelbert is breathing a sigh of relief. Her pretend friends in the mainstream media, they are trying to crown a new star. If the media has it their way, this could potentially be the new face of pretend basketball. And it's not just the woke media. There are even some in conservative media who are voluntarily biting into the shit sandwich. Headline at Outkick. No, Caitlin, no problem. Paige Bueckers can save the WNBA season.
Coming off her overhyped, crowning moment, a 44-point explosion against the Sparks, Paige walked into Seattle acting like the coronation parade was still rolling. But the Storm weren't handing out red carpets. They rolled out physical traps, aggressive contests, and suffocating defense. The result? A demolition.
She went off in a game against the Los Angeles Sparks, scoring 44 points, but the craziest part about that was her shooting percentage. She shot over 80% from the field, and I tweeted about that, and I was like, that's actually insane. Give props where they are due. Shooting over 80%, scoring 44 points is actually insane. But with this game, like Paige Bueckers she put on a masterclass in scoring, and I think with that, these are some big numbers.
Paige finished with just 11 points. Not 11 in the first half. Not 11 in a quarter. 11 for the entire game, and it came on an abysmal 2 for 11 shooting line. 0 assists, 2 rebounds. That's not a future superstar box score. That's a sympathy line. Seattle coach Noel Quinn even foreshadowed it before tip-off. Time to see if this princess can handle the Caitlin Clark treatment. Spoiler alert, she couldn't. She folded.
For the game, you said it's going to be important to be physical with like Paige Bueckers. Can you talk about the defensive game plan for Dallas and like how your team was able to hold them to their fewest points of the season?
Yeah, it started, with our attention to detail with Paige. I thought, Slim was very physical, stayed in her space, and the actions that we guarded her in, we were very aggressive, showed multiple bodies, and kind of, made her hesitant to use the ball screen a little bit. I thought we rotated well.
And here's where things get fascinating. Because while Paige crumbled under one night of real defensive pressure, Caitlin Clark has been living in that storm every single night since she stepped into the WNBA. Clark hasn't just faced tough defense, she's been targeted. The receipts are brutal. In 2024, 17% of all flagrant fouls in the WNBA were committed against Clark alone. That's not normal. That's open season targeting.
Paige Bueckers got Caitlin Clark treatment for the first time in her career, and it looked bad. It looked real bad. Everybody was running around. Yeah, she was cooking. 44 points versus the Sparks. They didn't play a lick of defense, letting this girl play one-on-one basketball in every area of the floor, letting her post up in the mid-range area, one-on-one. Now, I'm giving credit. She's a bucket in one-on-one, especially from that mid-range, from the free throw line down area. But this is the first time we watch teams actively be persistent about taking away her spots and what she wants to do.
The Chicago Sky alone accounted for 80% of those flagrants, making it a personal mission to body Clark every time they played. And yet, through all of it, Clark not only survived, she thrived. She kept breaking records, selling out arenas, and carrying the fever into relevance. Paige, she got coddled, floated around the league with defenders giving her space, rotated late, and let her rack up pretty shooting percentages. The very first time she was guarded like a real superstar, she shriveled. Her shots vanished, her efficiency evaporated, and her game looked hollow. Seattle treated her like Caitlin Clark, and exposed her as anything but.
Got blitzed. She got doubled. And do you want to know what she did as soon as she got blitzed in doubles? She passed. Paige Bueckers, look, she played decent amount early in the game. The game was kind of over and she got subbed out. Paige Bueckers shot 7 times.
One of the media's favorite arguments for Paige has always been efficiency. She entered the league shooting nearly 47.4%, compared to Clark's rookie clip of 41.7%. On paper, it looked like proof Paige was more polished. But here's the catch. Clark takes the hardest shots in the league. Deep, contested threes from 28 feet out. Drives through hacks and elbows. Step backs with 2 defenders draped on her. Meanwhile, Paige's percentages came from open mid-range looks and light closeouts. Seattle blew that mirage to pieces. Guard her like a superstar, and her efficiency didn't just dip, it collapsed. 2 makes on 11 attempts. That's not efficiency, that's exposure. Clark has shown she can keep producing even when defenses bend entire schemes to stop her. Paige got one taste of that treatment and disappeared.
You know what Paige Bueckers did every time the blitz came her way? Give up the ball and never look to get it back again. She just gave up. That is what we are talking about. You guys are running around and acting like everybody's getting guarded like Caitlin Clark, and it's not the truth. It's not facts at all. It's not facts at all. Paige Bueckers finally got a taste of a glimpse of what that tastes like.
So here's the truth. Caitlin Clark remains the gold standard, the player who isn't just elevating herself, but elevating the sport. Paige Bueckers is a nice talent, but she's not Clark. After Seattle exposed her, she might not even be in the same conversation. The WNBA and ESPN need to stop manufacturing hoaxes and start appreciating the generational talent they actually have. Because fans aren't buying the hype anymore. They're buying into Caitlin Clark. What do you think? Did Seattle officially end the Paige Bueckers experiment? Is this proof that the media's obsession with creating a next Caitlin Clark is doomed from the start? Let us know down in the comments. And as always, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out.